do you have any experience in sales, Joni?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, one of the things that help the most successful salespeople in the world in across all industries is follow up. And follow up just means that once you get in contact with the person, that you're consistently contacting them afterwards, so that you can, stay top of mind and provide value and, get some business. So it's basically just consistently contacting that person over and over again through different channels, different methods. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's what follow up is. So let's go ahead and go to the first slide. So here's some information, some basic info about follow up. Some key statistics. You're going to see, different types of statistics that are very similar to this. And they might not be the same exact numbers, but it's pretty much the same thing across the board. So it says 44% of agents give up after one follow up, and then 80% of sales require at least five follow ups. So what a lot of agents do, whether it's real estate agents, whether it's salespeople in other industries, a lot of them, what they do is they contact the person and then that's it. They contact, let's say they don't answer, and then they say, they didn't answer, they're unavailable, they don't want to hear from me, and it's this thing. It's like this mind. It's a mindset you got to have. You don't just contact them one time. You want to continuously contact them afterwards. So you want to do at least 5 to 10 follow-ups, 5 to 10 follow-ups to close the business. So you don't want to just try once. And so the reasons why you have to follow up so many times is because people need time to make decisions, right? So they need to set aside time in their day to actually think about the problem that they're trying to solve, and then actually make time for that. So they need to first make time for thinking about the problem and then actually thinking about the problem. So you got to catch them in that sweet spot, or try to set up a time and date for them so that you guys can talk about that problem and solve it. So that's why you need multiple follow-up attempts. But then another reason why it's very important is because if you're not following up, your competitors are. So the top salespeople, they're going to continuously follow up. So let's say you meet somebody named Mark. Hey, Mark, I just met you. We met at the event. I got your phone number, and let's say he didn't write back, right? You don't just stop there. You continuously call. You call maybe 2 days later, then you text 2 days later. You send an email 2 days later after that, and you continuously follow up. You got their Instagram. Okay, you like their stuff. You comment on their stuff. You send them a DM. You do all these things because your competitor is going to be doing that. And then so you want to get a hold of Mark, but Mark is getting contacted by another real estate agent. Okay, so Joni, you got to be on top of that. You got to just continuously follow up with these guys, and that's part of the game. And you do it to a point where you're comfortable, but sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone and actually get into their world. And some people might feel a little uncomfortable doing that, but you'll start getting used to that. And so another thing is that when you're consistently following up, it builds trust, right? It keeps you top of mind and it builds trust, because you're basically standing on what you believe in. You're basically telling them, "Hey, I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get a hold of you, and I want to give you this value," right? And so that's what builds that trust, is saying, "Hey, this person is not just giving up." Uh, does that make sense, Joni?
Yes, it does.
Yep. And it's not just about who makes the first call; it's also about who makes the last call. And so that kind of like sums everything up into it sums everything up that I'm saying, right? You want to make the first call, and you also want to make the last call. Last call is the one who gets the business. The first call is the one who makes the first impression.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So there's a few stages, specifically in real estate. Uh, well, this is actually well, the information relates to real estate, but these three stages are pretty much across the board as well. So after the first contact, let's say you just met somebody. We're looking at the left column, and it says, let's say you just met somebody at an open house or a networking event or through an online inquiry that they made on your website. And then that's basically that first contact. And then what you want to do after you make that first contact is send them a message within 24 hours. right? Saying, hey, it was great meeting you. If you have any questions about that specific property that you were talking about over there in Kissimmee, feel free to reach out, right? Something
Mm-hmm.
very, very subtle, you know, but saying that, hey, you're ready to help them, right? And then you provide value. You say, hey, here's a market report. Here's some information on that specific property. Here's the profile on my website on that specific property, and then you can also set them up with different alerts, daily alerts, weekly alerts, and I can teach you how to do that. But you want to send them some sort of link or some sort of information that they're going to find valuable, and I can help you with that with sending them a link once we set up your Lofty. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so obviously it says why it matters. It's pretty obvious on why it matters. It shows that you're professional and it sets you apart. You sent the message within 24 hours. You sent them a link that gives them value. They like that. Oh my God, that this specific house that I was looking at in Kissimmee, man, they gave me more information about it and they want to give me more information. I might even be able to see this house. You're pushing them towards that way. So that's after the first contact. Then that's the in between, you got the during the buying or selling process. So once you've already connected with the lead and they're actively considering buying or selling with you, and they're looking for information and guidance, what you should do is you stay in regular contact. So every few days, right? So let's say they're a buyer. You tell them, hey, a new property just hit the market that matches your criteria. I know you said you wanted a house with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths and you wanted a marble kitchen. So here it is. Look at this one. This one even has a pool, the style of pool that you like, right? Then once you start like consistently staying top of mind, they're going to be like, oh, whenever I have a question about real estate, I'm going to ask Joni, right? Or Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and then for sellers, right? That's for somebody who's looking for a house. For a seller, you could say, "Hey, here's some feedback on the showing that we did for your house, or here's a little market update on the houses that have been sold in the neighborhood. Just specific information, just consistently staying top of mind. Showing that you know what you're talking about, and you want to be proactive, so you don't wait for them to call you. You reach out first. You're providing them a service. So, and you also want to answer questions quickly. So it's basically what we're talking about here is consistently speaking to your prospect, consistently talking to them in all different manners. Okay. Because the competition is high, so you want to stay in touch. And then post sale, right? After you sell the home or after you find them a house, after the transaction is complete, you wanna continuously reach out to them afterwards as well. And a lot of agents stop here, but this is where you get referrals. This is where you get repeat business. So you want to consistently talk to them. So you check in with them after the closing. You send a congratulations. Hey, congratulations on your home. It was a pleasure working with you. Let me know if you ever need anything else. And then you can send a card on their birthday. You can send, on a holiday, on Christmas, you send a postcard. You can send a text message. You want to consistently stay top of mind. And then later on, you can start asking for referrals to say, hey, hey, I hope you're enjoying your new home. If you know anyone who's looking to buy or sell, I'd love to help them too, just like I helped you. Right. And so that's how you're going to continue, get referrals and continue getting business. Because a lot of the business that you're going to get are from referrals. If you're not too into social media, if you're not too into the internet game, then you're going to have to talk to your people, the people that that are in your contacts, in your phone, and you're going to, talk to them and consistently stay on top of mind. Uh, does that make sense, Joni?
Yes, it does.
Yep. So it's before, as soon as you talk to them, you stay in contact. During the buying and selling process, you stay in contact. Post sale, you stay in contact. And this is for everybody. Okay. So let's talk about before you guys actually, create an agreement or they sign an agreement. Let's say a buyer, you're still trying to get a hold of them. You're trying to talk to them. So, and you want to find them a house. So let's say, uh, let's say a lead contacts you through your website, Zillow, social media, an open house, but they haven't committed with working with you yet. So what you can do is contact them within those 24 hours or within an hour. and you say, "Hey, thank you for reaching out about that specific property. I'd love to help. When's a good time to discuss your goal?" Right? That's, I mean, that's obvious. You're setting up an appointment, and then you send that link, right? This is more of like this is a continuation of that first column on the previous slide, but it has a breakdown here, and I'll be able to send this to you, Joni, if you
Okay, great.
want. So second step, right? Schedule a buyer consultation. So once they've expressed interest, you want to set up an appointment. The whole point of you contacting these guys after you met them for the first time or they inquired over the phone is to set an appointment. That's the whole point. That's the only sell. The sell shouldn't be about, hey, you should sign this agreement so I can sell you a house. It should just be like, hey, we should sit down and talk about your goals, right? Hey, we should get together
Mhm.
sometime. Hey, we should meet up at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee. Hey, we should meet at the office so that we could just chat, you know? So that should be the main goal before anything. You want to close the distance, close the gap. You don't want them to continuously just talk to you over the phone and just you have this phone relationship. I mean, you can, but you want to get close with them, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, an example could be, hey, I'd love to sit down with you for a quick 15 minutes to chat about what you're looking for. We can go over your budget, what you must have in your new home, and the next steps. Sounds good? And
Yep.
then you set the appointment up, right? So, and then after meeting them, after the consultation, you still want to consistently talk to them again. Hey, thanks for chatting today. I'll start searching for homes that fit your needs. I'm going to send you over that link, or I'm going to send you over what I said I was going to send you over. And let me know if you have any
Right.
questions in the meantime. Or let's say you have an agreement after, let's say you got together and you have an agreement that you wanted them to sign. Hey, I'm excited to help you find that perfect home. Let's finalize this agreement so we can dive in and schedule some showings, right? So you consistently just want to just stay top of mind, right?
Right.
Uh, and so that's for buyers. Now for sellers. So before they sign any agreement, you're still trying to get some business. You're still trying to like convince them to work with you. So you say, hey, you can send a note saying, hey, it was great discussing your plans to sell. I'm confident I can help you get the best price for your home. Right. That's just a quick message that you can write. We're going to have, Joni, we're going to have plenty of time to come up with custom messages or different types of messages or approaches. This is kind of just a
Mhm.
breakdown on what follow up is. Okay. So you
Got it.
don't, you don't have to be so cookie cutter with your responses or with your approaches. We'll come up with something. We'll come up with the general concept so you understand what you're trying, what the goal is.
Okay.
Um, but you also consistently want to provide value. Hey, based on my research, homes in your area are selling quickly. Here's an estimated price range for your property. Or hey, or just say, hey, here's an estimated price range for your property, but I really want to get down and figure out what the correct price is by doing a proper customized presentation for you, a CMA. Uh, right. So we want to do a market analysis to figure out what the right price is for yours, for your houses, and so that we can sell it as fast as possible. Right. Something like that, where you're just basically trying to make the appointment, right? Now, let's say
Mhm.
they're hesitant. Let's say they're like, "Hey, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. It was just an idea. I was just asking you a question before, but I wasn't really thinking about it before like that. I'm not too sure." And they're like, kind of like on the fence, right? You say, "Hey, I just wanted to share an article about the best time to sell your neighborhood. It might help you make a decision." Or you could just write, "Hey, there's been a recent shift in home values in the area. Let me know if you like an updated estimate." Like just try to continuously add value. Okay. Does that make
Got
sense?
it. Yeah, it does.
All right. So some general tips, right? Don't be overbearing. Don't be overwhelming, right? But at the same time, you're always smiling, but at the same time, you're relentless. Okay. You have to be relentless. You have to use calls. You have to use emails. You have to use text messages. You have to use social media. Okay. They don't answer a call, you send a text. They don't answer a text, you send an email. They don't answer your email, you give them a like on social media. Okay. You got to hit them from all different angles. So, an example text would be, hey, just checking in. Have you had a chance to review the agreement? Let me know if you have any questions. Right. Building trust. I recently helped. Hey, I recently helped somebody else in Kissimmee, and I got him a great deal. I want to do the same for you. Okay. So here's how we did it. Da da da. I'd love to do the same. something like that, right? And there's just different ideas. There's so many things. If you can imagine, there's so many things that you can say to somebody just to stay top of mind. And they're gonna love it. They're gonna like it. They will tell you, say, hey, stop contacting me. Okay. Until that point, you don't stop. You don't stop because some people just like being told information and they won't reply. They're just like, oh, okay, I want to take this information and I'll maybe later on at night or at midnight when I actually settle down and I'm relaxed at home, I'm gonna review this information. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't reach out to you or they didn't respond because they still have to review the information and they're busy at the moment. That's why you don't stop. You got to continue, 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 continue. Okay. And then the CRM Lofty has many tools, resources, different features that'll help you with follow up. And I'll help you with that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after they sign for buyers, right? So after they sign an agreement with you, you want to continuously, stay professional. You want them to, you want them to be proud of you because you want them to give you referrals in the future, right? So you can provide them updates on the market. Hey, a few new listings just came in that match your budget and criteria. Let me know if you'd like to schedule a showing. Yeah, that's for a buyer, right? And the CRM can do this automatically for you. And I'll show you how to do that. It's automatic. You don't really have to do it. You can set it up for it to be daily. You can set it up for it to be weekly or monthly. It'll continuously send them new listings that match their criteria with
Mm-hmm.
new updates. Okay, so you can use that. There's so many tools that we have here that you can use. Um, Now, after showings, right? You say, hey, what did you think about the house? Did you feel like it fit, or did it feel like it fit, or should we keep looking for other options? Keep the conversation active. During the decision making process, hey, I noticed you like the property in Kissimmee. Here's some info about the neighborhood and recent sale prices in the area to help you decide. Okay, because honestly, you want them to make a decision, right? They might have many options. Say, hey, you're trying to narrow it down for them. And if they go silent, let's say they stop responding to you, and you're like, what happened? I was just showing the houses, but where did they go? You say, hey, I just wanted to check in and see how are you feeling about the house hunting process? Is there anything I can do to make things easier for you? You know, and you don't stop. You don't stop. You don't stop if they tell you until they tell you stop contacting me. You just don't stop. Right? Sellers, after they sign an agreement with you. Um, here's this week's update. We've had 10 showings so far on your home. Let's say they sign a listing agreement with you and they have a house listed with you, so you're selling their house and you're
Mm-hmm.
saying and you're giving them an update. Hey, we had 10 showings so far. I've scheduled another open house for next weekend and I'm boosting your online ad campaign to target more buyers in this specific area. Just updating them and saying, and so they're like, hey, this guy's actually, this girl's actually professional. They're sending me updates. I feel like I'm being taken care of. They're supporting me. I'm actually going to give Joni the contact info of my cousin who is moving from Chicago. She's going to eventually move down here to St. Cloud in a couple months. You know, you gotta have that that professional feel. Like, hey, when you speak, Joni, when you speak to them and you're talking to them and you say, hey, I just want to give you the utmost, the best service. I want to go over and beyond what you expect. I want to give you 150% of the best customer service that you've ever received in your life. I want to be there for you. I am that person. I'm here for you. And they start feeling that way, you're like, oh man, and you're giving them information consistently, they're gonna be like, dang, not only am this person is in my head all the time, like this person doesn't leave me alone. They're in my head. And that's how you want it to be. Um, okay, hold on a second. So no. Let's see. We got 10 minutes left. Okay. All right. So you're providing feedback. You're discussing adjustments that might be necessary. Hey, we've had 10 showings, but no offers yet. I recommend adjusting the price slightly. Let's reduce the price maybe by this much, and let's add some staging and make sure the home looks a little bit more appealing, right? I think you can celebrate small wins along the way. But the whole point, Joni, is that you want to stay top of mind. Okay. I hope I'm getting that point across. So let's see. Let's go to the next one. So effective follow-up, different methods. We got phone calls, you got emails, you got text messages, you have DMs on social media, you have comments on social media, you have likes on social media. And if you really wanted to, if you want to spend some money, you get postcards and send them postcards. Okay. So these are different methods that you can use. Now, when you're following up, each time that you talk to somebody, you want to update your notes. Okay. You need to have notes because you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. And that's why the CRM is important. So in your CRM in Lofty, you're going to be able to put notes on each specific person so that whenever you talk to them again, you're like, oh, this is where we ended. So we could continue on from there. For example, let's say you're talking to somebody named Mary, and Mary told you, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to be able to talk right now because my mom is actually in the hospital right now, and I can't really talk right now." Boom! If you put that in the notes, right, and you talk to Mary 2 weeks from now, you say, "Hey, Mary, I know we couldn't talk last a couple weeks ago. I just want to ask you, how's your mom doing? Is everything okay? Yeah, I went through a similar situation. I just want to make sure your mom is okay. How's everything? How's the family? Is there anything I can do for you?" They're going to really feel that, but you might miss that. You might forget about it if you don't write the note. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also want to put your follow-up dates on your calendar. In Lofty, in the CRM, you're going to have a calendar where you can put your reminders in there to make phone calls. So let's say you talk to Mary and she says, "Hey, my mom's in the hospital. I can't talk right now. But I still want to talk, but I just can't talk right now." Okay, no problem. We'll talk later when things are better. Then you put in your calendar, follow up with Mary on this date, and then now when that date comes around, you'll be able to remember to talk to that person because you got Mary, you got John, you got Derek, you got Cindy, you got Maria, you got so many people that you're talking to. You're going to start forgetting. Okay, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why the CRM is important. All right, so these are some of the challenges, right? When they don't respond, I would say don't get discouraged. People get busy, and sometimes people just do things their own way. They do things differently than you, right? You might be super open. Some people are super closed, right? So it has nothing to do with what you're doing. It has everything to do with how they handle things. So if they don't respond, you just change the channel. So what that means is, okay, they don't respond to call. That's fine. I'll text. If
Mm-hmm.
they don't answer a text, then I go on social media. You're right, or something like that. However, and you can start adjusting the message. So let's say Mary, you're trying to show, let's say Mary, right? And her mom's in a hospital, and you're trying to tell her, "Hey, look, I just found this house in Kissimmee. You should. It has the marble counter like you like." But Mary doesn't want to hear about that. So your message should change. Your message should say, "Hey, I hope everything is going well with the family there. I want to share my, I want to tell you I care about you," or something like that, right? Depending on who it is, but you want to change the message. You wanted to make it relevant to their life and push them in the right direction, right? You want them to like you and know that you respect their privacy and their situation. At the same time, you're also a professional. Eventually, you're going to ask them about real estate. But yeah. So then the second point, right? Let's say they're not ready yet. Well, then you can check in periodically. You check in periodically. You can use Lofty or the CRM to send automatic updates, but then we're also going to continuously follow up. So calls, text messages, DMs, comments, all this stuff periodically, consistently throughout time. Stay top of mind, right? Let's say you're too busy. Let's say you're too busy. You got paperwork, you got work, you got life, you got kids, or you got family, you got health issues or whatever it is. Let's say you're too busy uh, and you don't have time to follow up with people. Okay, well then, Joni, that's when I come in and you talk to me and you say, "Hey, I don't have enough time to follow up right now. We need to automate some things." Then we're going to start automating some things with Lofty and the CRM to continuously send out information or value to your prospects or to your leads. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it. I don't want to like overwhelmed, but I just wanted to make a clear point that you have to stay top of mind and you have to be in their world. Insert yourself in their world in a professional manner, and you should win. Okay, because the other salespeople, I mean, I think the statistic was like, what was it, 80%, 80%, or I think it's more. of salespeople do not follow up after the first contact. It's insane. It's just like that. It's like that. And it's not the right way to do things. So that's pretty much what the presentation is about. It's just talking about staying top of mind. Do you have any questions?
Mm-mm. No questions.
Alrighty. Joni, are you hooked up with Lofty already?
Say it again. No, not yet. Not
Okay. Okay. All right. Whenever you want, or whenever you want to have a conversation about that, you can have a conversation with me about Lofty,
Mhm.
about the CRM, or Clio, and we'll get you set up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Pierre, real quick, I'll call you right after. So we're done, right, with this?
Yes, we are
See if
done.
you can help. See if you can help me with that that lead that came in.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm on the phone.
Javier, great job. Thank you for that. You're absolutely right. Communication is everything. There's some really great tactics that you can use. I'd rather always over communicate than under communicate with my clients. So I insert myself into every aspect of their life. I'll hawk them down. I'll find them on social media. I'll send them letters in the mail. I will, call them and text them every single day or every single week. I've never had anybody tell me, except for in a positive way, that I'm too much, that I'm annoying them by communicating with them. And the number one cited complaint amongst real estate agents is a lack of communication. So following up is one thing, but also communicating with the clients that you do have is another form of follow-up that we don't want to overlook.
What do we got to lose, right?
100%. That's the mindset. What do you got to lose?
What do you have to learn?
All right. Well, thank you, Javier. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Let us know.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, everyone.